I mean, growing up as a child watching I Go Die, and I Go Die will now be the first person to give me my first 100,000 naira in life. It was a big deal. The day where I Go Die, go sit down, where I go crack and joke. Him go die. First time working with a big name. It depends on what your definition of a big name is, because for me, anybody that is above my level is a big name. So I would say the first time working with a big name will be with Dr. Ayuba, who is my mentor and godfather kind of. He gave me that platform on Big Comedy Assembly then. That's many years ago. I was doing comedy anyway before that time. 2014, I remember. He was always carrying me around whenever I had events and all that. To me, he has always been my big name. First time the street showed me love, of course, would be 2014, December 25th. My hood, Karimo, Abuja, they turned up at the Indian Garden. They were proud to see me come on that. But it was arguably like one of the biggest platforms to perform as a comedian that time. So when they saw me, they were so happy. So that love for me meant that I would not stop doing comedy till date. First industry person to believe in me was Dr. Ayuba. Yes, is still my mentor till date. Dr. Ayuba, Sosenes Ayuba. Dr. Ayuba, he was the president of Abuja Body of Comedian then. So he was the first person to hand me a microphone as a stand-up comedian. So that makes it that he was the first person to believe in me. Ew. First time in Lagos would be that was for Alibaba's spontaneity, and that would be like 2000, is it 2015 or 16? 2016, yes. Because I remember I was on that audition with the likes of Fashion, that 2016. First failure that almost made me give up. It was not a failure per se, I felt cheated. But then again, I was happy it didn't happen the way I wanted it to happen, because it was now a ground for me to work hard. It was October 1st, 2016. Malam Yankee did Comedy Fiesta Challenge. We went for that audition. It was even Shortcut Comedian that sent me transport from school then, I remember. I came for that audition. I qualified out of many people, and then we were for the finals. The arrangement was that we're going to crack joke 2 minutes, the first lap. I scatter everywhere. So they did not favor one person who was like that time my guy kind of, MC Ukodo. So he didn't give that Ukodo vibe. They knew him for that time in the first lap. So the second lap, we were to do the same 2 minutes. So the second lap, they said I should start. While I did 2 minutes, I had not dropped my punchline yet. I was still on the joke. Then I said, thank you, that's your time. But at least people had felt the joke. But if I had dropped the punchline, it would have been major. So when it was time for the next person to perform, I think ideally they would let the person do the same 2 minutes where I do. Then I say, the MC was Chooks the General. I don't know why he did that thing. Now my guy, but just so he knows that thing that happened that day made me sad somehow, and it looked like probably he was trying to play somebody above me, you know. He now looked at the audience and said, it's like we didn't give this guy enough time the first time. I think we should give him more time. What do you think? The audience now said yes. They now gave him 5 minutes to deliver when I had done 2 minutes. So that guy had the time to use that 5 minutes to work on the audience. So that automatically now watered whatever I had done. I don't know what happened though, because we had senior colleagues like I Go Die. I think that event was the reason why forever I will love somebody like Oke Bakase, Acapella, Helen Paul. Which other person again were seated in that hall that day? And then this thing I will say now is my life reality. So when they now announced the winner as MC Ukodo, me as he was on stage, I was smiling with my funny agbada I was wearing. Something happened on that day. I Go Die and now stood up to say no. So they had a disagreement on their table with the audience. You know, as premium stand-up comedians who have been in this crowd, who are custodians of what the profession is. And I say, hold on, how do you adjudge that this guy is the winner? Because in the first place, this other guy on Agbada is cracking his original jokes or whatever. I wouldn't know, maybe Ukodo don't go mistakenly crack material where crack joke where looked similar to something where they don't hear before or something, because I know Ukodo is a very solid stand-up comedian. You know, it was my friend. The ones that were rooting for me were shouting, the place became rowdy. I Go Die and now said, what was the prize for MC Ukodo? that they announced as winner, they now say 100,000. I go there and now say they was giving me 100,000. Let me tell you what happened. That was a blessing in disguise for me. I preferred that 100,000 from I Go Die than what Malayamki was going to give Ukodo as the winner. I mean, growing up as a child watching I Go Die, and I Go Die will now be the first person to give me my first 100,000 naira in life. It was a big deal. Now, not just that I Go Die gave me that money. When he made that promise on stage, you would think that he will not fulfill it. I Go Die proved that he was a man of his word. You know what he did? The next day, he told Malam Yankee to call me. He called me, I remember, to Nane's suit. I was going there. I now called MC Ukodo to come along with me. I went with Mr. Odi. That time, I had no whatever international passport or something. He could sign the check. He signed the check. Now, before he signed that check, I Go Die sat with us and spoke to me for 2 hours, encouraging us. See, I needed that thing much in my life. And I can't wait one day to have I Go Die on my platform to tell him that all the advice he gave me and things he told me, October 2nd, 2016, I have put them to work. And I love him to be proud that this little boy advice has become a phenomenal brand. Serikin Daria. The day where I Go Die, go sit down, where I go crack and joke. Him go die. Him go die with love. When I lost that night, before I Go Die made that statement, I just felt like I said, you know what, I will leave this comedy thing because I don't just really understand. It just look like, say, all the effort I'm putting, people are doing everything to just frustrate me. But I am happy that I never won a competition. Such instances of failure that made it look like, you know what, should I even leave this comedy? Was somebody I know somehow, I'm a senior colleague, whether or not he likes it, MC Tagwai. Because I tell myself truth. What I don't have, I don't have. I came on his competition at the time that I was arguably like a senior colleague in stand-up comedy. He did that competition. Tagwai was a rave that time, so he had money, he had things going for him. He now did that competition. I came, even him saw me and said, no, I'm not supposed to be on this competition. I said, but you are giving out 1 million naira. I don't have it. I can't lie to myself. I'm suffering. If I'm able to win this 1 million, alhamdulillah, I will use it to solve a lot of problems in life. We went for the audition, scaled through. We had the audition finally. I didn't win that audition because 1 or 2 things happened. I think the audience went in favor of my very close brother, Aminu the comedian. He won that money. It touched me, but Aminu did something that day. Aminu was giving, something happened. I think Aminu was evicted at a time he was not supposed to be evicted by the judges, and the audience got angry, and they felt like you wanted to evict this guy at a time, even though this guy's joke was not measuring up with whatever Seriki and every other person was cracking, but he never reached make him then go evict this time. It's supposed to be this person. And you know when Nigerians want to play emotions with you, guess what? They didn't let Aminu talk anything before they rooted for him as the winner. Immediately Aminu just gonna say, he get 1 man. They say, oh my God, the man is so funny. Where you are, Lana? Guess what? Nothing else we were going to crack that would funny the audience that night. They had made up their mind. If Aminu don't win this money, they don't want to hear anything. Comedians were the judges. It was Koboko Master, Asawana, and a few others. Now, myself, Aminu, and every other comedian were people they know, not like it was a game of preference or whatever. So they were judging from the basis of who cracked the original joke. They could dictate which was which, but the audience will not. So as they were the judges, they now said, okay, judging from what we've heard, we know people who had cracked their joke. So maybe they now faulted Aminu to say, there was a joke you cracked that was not yours. They now evicted Aminu. But the joke was actually funny. Aminu told the joke in a very funny way. So when they said that thing and all of that, the audience said, no, this guy is too funny to be evicted. So luck went in favor of Aminu. He won that 1 million naira. But Aminu did something as a brother. He told me and he said, Seriki, you know, on a normal day, you are too funny for somebody to want to compete with you. But it was just that luck was on my side. Aminu gave me $300 that was given to him by Shinopela. Shinopela had given me some cash, half bundle of 500 naira notes. One other person gave me $100. So me altogether, I had like $500. At that time, dollar never see shaggy the way they see now. That I had like close to 400,000 naira going home. That was close to $500,000 naira. But then again, the money was not what I wanted. I wanted at least, because at that time in the industry, the yardstick for judging somebody funny was on the basis of what competition have you won, what platform have you been to. So I didn't win that. It was to me like, I said, now, wow. I said, you know what? This will be the last time I will ever go to any competition. But guess what? I am glad that I never won that Tagwaye competition, because it was after that competition I went viral the next year as a content creator. People would have likened my success to his platform. People would have said it was as he won this competition that he went viral. I mean, Tagwaye haven't been somebody that is pro-government, whether or not you like it, who was mimicking and depicting Buhari. Me, I was somebody who stood up against whatever the government that was doing that was not good. So it was looking like I was anti-Tagwaye. So imagine if I had won Tagwaye, and I would have been scared. I said, if I do this thing, Tagwaye, if you go come and say, why you do like this? Because that time, as somebody who had won a competition, it was like you were answerable to whatever platform you won that competition. So I was happy that I never won a competition people would liken my success or progress to. So God is always responsible for whatever height and level I have attained. Mind you, whatever I am saying here is not to get at anybody. I'm just being real. This is my life story. You can tell your own version if you know like them. This is my first. My name is Serikinda. Everything I've said here are things that happened in my life. If you say my life, you write your own version of me.